Hello from the media room at Arsenal, full-time. Arsenal 5, was it? Benfica 2. Pretty much everything you would want, really, from the Emirates Cup game. It was entertaining. It was a good run out for a lot of players who are still building up their fitness. And crucially, for the young fans who don't normally get to see Arsenal in action, this was a really entertaining game. And a lot of positives. I know it's pre-season. That's the big caveat around all of this. But I still thought there was a lot to be positive about. Kolasinac immediately jumps out at me as one of the big things to talk about. He finally played at left wing back, and while it was a bit unfortunate for Ainsley Maitland-Niles, who had to fill in at centre back, Kolasinac looked much more comfortable as a wing back than he has, to be honest, throughout most of pre-season. He's been playing at centre half. I know he can play there, but left wing back's where we're going to need him in this team. It's where he was outstanding for Schalke last season, and we saw what he can do. He provided the assist for the opening goal, great muscularity and a decent pullback for Theo Walcott, brilliant finish from him, and he was involved in pretty much all our best stuff all day long. Telling him too that his starting position was higher often than Reiss Nelson, who is sort of regarded as a midfielder primarily. Just checking over to check if Arsene Wenger's come in. Don't think he quite has yet. So, but Nelson, got to talk about him as well. Playing as a right wing back, let's remember, 17 years old, not playing in his ideal position, so much bravado, so much confidence, shouting at senior players to give him the ball. I could hear him from my seat on the touchline, constantly calling for possession. That takes guts, to be honest. We know he's got skill, that much is obvious, but to have the character to translate that in this kind of arena, albeit in a friendly setting, is a real positive as well. So, exciting to see him. What else to say? Theo Walcott looked very sharp. And I don't just mean his finishes, which were very good, very tidy, did miss one big chance for a hat-trick. But I mean in terms of the way he played between the lines, the way he played that kind of half-striker role. In the first half, he played off Olivier Giroud, closer to Giroud than Iwobi. You know, he spoke about having talked to the manager about a new role for him in this new formation, and people thought, does he mean wing back? Does he mean centre forward? I think he just means a different interpretation of that inside forward role. He got close to Giroud, he played off him, and it was very effective, and it created space for Nelson on the overlap. So I was really encouraged by what I saw from Theo Walcott today. Mohamed Elneny, I thought, looked better in midfield than he did at centre-half. He's not a centre-half, let's be honest. That was a quick fix for while we were on tour, but he looked decent today in the midfield. Lacazette got on for his debut. To be honest, wasn't involved much. But good, I guess, for the fans here today to see him get a brief run out. And Olivier Giroud, I think we need to touch on him. Giroud, you know, been talk about his future at the club. This was a really good performance. I mean that in a hold-up display. You know, he brought others into the game, provided a focal point for the attack, scored a great goal from a Nelson cross, reaching out that left leg, hooking it back into the far corner, laid on chances for others. I liked him. I liked it a lot, and I want him to stay. I think if you lose him, you might be losing 15 to 20 goals, and that's a very big contribution to this team. But Kolasinac, the big talking point, and Nelson. We know this is a system in which the wing-backs shine. They really did today. Nelson looks like an exciting player who could end up one of those two behind the front man. Kolasinac, he looks like a wing-back to me. Not a traditional Arsene Wenger wing-back. Not the most technical. Not the most subtle. Not the most delicate. But a powerhouse who provides a constant threat. Great to watch. And a fun day all in all. Be interesting to see how he got on tomorrow. I'll be back then. Cheers, guys, and do subscribe. Thanks a lot.